I have to share with you an embarrassing networking experience. And it's pretty embarrassing because no one showed up and I was hosting. So this is like the exact opposite of what it's like to be popular. You know, you're trying to host like a party, like a business party for people with suits and ties, and no one shows up. So that's kind of embarrassing. And I didn't get disappointed though. I thought that was unique. I felt embarrassed, but I didn't feel disappointed. And I wanted to talk about my experience because I work with people, I train people, I talk about people's stories. And so many people I run into, they end up quitting because they feel disappointed. They quit their gym membership, for example, because they don't lose enough weight or gain enough muscle on time. They feel disappointed. The disappointment leads to a negative spiral. And we're going to talk about how to prevent all this stuff too, by the way. Anyways, their disappointment leads to a negative spiral, and they quit. They plummet. They don't achieve their goals. They end up stuck in life, blah, 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 blah. And I wanted to share with you this embarrassing moment because I'm not above being embarrassed, but I was able to handle my disappointment very skillfully in ways that I wish I saw my clients work. I wish I saw the people I work with handle disappointment in this way as well. So what happened was we'd done this networking event and no one showed up. So I was in this hotel lobby, a nice hotel lobby, and I have my binder and it's like cards and the sign-up sheet, and I get there early and I'm waiting for people, and time goes by, no one shows up. I say, okay, people are, they run late, no need to be on time. A half hour goes by, no one's there. And it dawns on me that no one's gonna show up. So I got a little disappointed, but not majorly disappointed. And I think this is so important, to only get little disappointments rather than these huge disappointments. When people feel these huge disappointments, like think about the last time you got really upset, really disappointed about something. I bet you never tried that again. Like if you tried to lose weight and you got disappointed because you didn't lose weight, people usually quit and don't try again because it's really painful. And the key to all this, one of the keys how I was able to not be disappointed was I set this achievable goal. I set an intention before the event. This is really important. Before the event, I had this intention. You know what? I don't want to be the most popular person. I want to connect with one or two, maybe three people very deeply. I want to hear their story. I want to connect with them. I want to get to know a few people on a relationship level. So rather than having these grandiose expectations, I was only mildly disappointed. I didn't get to meet 3 new people. Oh well. Oh well. So if you're on a weight loss journey or whatever and you don't lose the weight, if you're only shooting for 1 pound, it's not the end of the world. You can go hop on your treadmill the next day, and the same thing goes for other areas of life. Now, in the article below, or the article that's being linked, I go over some of the neuroscience of disappointment. So basically what happens, I'll just go into a little bit right now. When you get super excited for something, when you have these high hopes, high expectations, dopamine floods your brain. Dopamine is the thing that makes you salivate. It makes you feel excited and hopeful. But if you don't get the reward, then the dopamine falls off. Meow. So the higher your hopes, the more dopamine gets released. And then if the hopes aren't met, the greater the contrast. And this contrast right here is disappointment. So if you set low expectations, low hopes, if they aren't met, then the disappointment is smaller. Now I know what you're saying. You're saying, well, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, you set lower expectations, that leads to less disappointment. But lower expectations leads to less effort. It leads to less hope. It leads to less motivation. Less motivation leads to less results. And that's true too. We need this thing where we're peak emotions, where we're excited, where we're enthusiastic, but also balanced by the reality of not having things in our control. especially at a networking event, right? So I have these high hopes that I'm going to meet people, I'm going to connect with 3 people, but also I have this reality check at the same time that none of this might happen. And you have to have this ability to hold contradictory states of mind at the same time. So it's contradictory for me to be hopeful that I'll meet a bunch of people, that I'll meet 3 people and connect deeply. It's contradictory for me to feel that and think that I might not meet anyone at all. But that's what you got to do. You got to have this ability to be flexible cognitively. Now, in the article below, I go through a bunch of different ways to go through that. Some of them are being able to laugh at your failures. Think about that. Laughter triggers the emotions and it helps you relieve the stress. That's just all that comes to mind that I wrote off the previous article. So check out that article, subscribe to the email address off to your right side, and come to one of our events. Even though I just said they were really unpopular. No, but we're going to get a speaker next time and it's going to be great. We had 45 people show up last time. See ya.